So, as we've said in a few other videos, there's no such thing as a perfect stock for everybody. But one kind of interesting exercise I've done a few times is answered the question if there was only one stock I was allowed to buy and own, not an index fund, it had to be an actual stock, what would it be? And got me to thinking what some of the best all around stocks in the market are. And I have two in my own portfolio. I'll start with Berkshire Hathaway. This is the clear choice. If I could only own one stock, it would be Berkshire. And the reason is because it's like buying an entirely diverse portfolio in one stock. Berkshire Hathaway has about 60 subsidiary businesses, a lot of which you probably heard of, like Geico, Duracell, Fruit of the Loom. I could go on forever, but it's not that long of a video. They own a stock portfolio worth about $375 billion. That's about half the company's value. Large stakes in companies like Apple, American Express, most of which were handpicked by Warren Buffett himself. And I consider this like an all-in-one portfolio if Warren Buffett was your portfolio manager. It's the numbers are big. It's a big company, so it's not going to 10x for you in a few years. That's not why you own this, but it is like an all-in-one portfolio in one stock that would need a lot to go wrong for it to be a real disaster. So Berkshire's my number one all-around stock. Tyler, what's one that you think is a great all-around company?
Well, you kind of stole the idea of all around and just basically buying an index through one stock in Berkshire. So I'm gonna challenge myself a little bit more and just a singular business and one that I would want to own and is one that I think is just going to be again a durable business that is going to last decades and decades and decades. It's waste management. For if anybody's seen those green trucks collecting trash, that's the company I'm talking about. The waste disposal and waste kind of handling business is an extremely durable one that, in Buffett parlance, has an incredibly wide economic moat. You know, owning a landfill is extremely hard. Like getting an actual landfill built between the permitting, getting it through like town ordinances, all that thing, that is an extremely hard thing to do. So existing landfills and the ability to do that gives you a huge advantage over just about anybody else in this business. So you kind of have a geographic monopoly. Between that and municipal waste collection is an extremely consistent, durable business that most of their tipping fees, which is kind of tipping fees is to the waste itself or to the landfill itself, but excuse me, but collection fees for like municipalities, they tend to be contracts that are renewed either annually or every few years that are typically indexed to inflation. So that residential municipal sort of like waste collection business is an extremely durable one and nice and relatively profitable. If you look at its financials, it's a company. Revenue is never going to blow you away, probably somewhere between 3 to 7% annually. It's going to grow, which doesn't sound great, but it's a high return on capital business. All this entire decade, it has had returns on equity above 20%, and it's been somewhere between 20 and 30%. It has prolifically bought back stock. It tends to pay albeit a low dividend because a low yield. It is not the cheapest stock in the world, but over the past 5 years, it's grown its dividend 8% annually. You kind of combine all of those things, and I think if you're looking for a business like you just want to buy and hold, and you don't have to like think too much about it over the very long haul, Waste Management really is one of those companies. And I think at 25 times forward earnings, it's one of the cheaper opportunities that I've seen for this company. And with rising interest rates, that may be one of the better opportunities out there.
Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.